But I know delnyy, he's definitely a player that can certainly adapt to any sort of team scenario, that playing basically the front line that his team needs. And I'm almost certain that in game number 3, as we head into the picks and bans, that he will continue to stick to this same sort of play style of just adapting to whatever his team needs.
Yeah, I mean, he can play pretty much whatever. He has been favoring the Bellona. I really don't think that they will first pick it. I think they realize that, their last draft was a lot better. I don't think they need to be putting so much prioritization on the Bellona, given that delnyy can play, any number of Guardians and Warriors.
So the losing team yet again opting for this first pick. Elevate with the first pick the last game. Astral Authority wanting to go for their staple Khepri first pick, but not allowing it as Elevate.
And I actually really enjoy seeing Khepri get banned away. Whichever side has had the Khepri so far today has been the winning side. So even if the damage isn't necessarily the reason behind it, I mean, we saw game number 1, it was the setup. Game number 2, it was the frontline potential. And so overall, just too strong of a pick.
Zeus being locked in for Astral Authority. The Habwa did not work out well for Coviiii the last time, and despite picking the Habwa, I think that was the mindset of Astral Authority going into that. They wanted to allow Elevate the Zeus pick just to try to shut him down, but didn't really find many opportunities against oBoronic.
And with Zeus being locked away and Khepri being taken off the table for Elevate, what do you imagine that they're going to be leaning towards here, Zaxi?
What's Elevate going to be leaning towards?
Yes.
I think they're going to look for something to pick off the Zeus. So, and it's good, they take away the Khepri just so Zeus doesn't get a free life. I would think Elevate's going to look for a hard engage dive comp. So they already have the Khepri, right? They have the Batz. So they're probably going to look to just dive the Zeus, forces all, and then Khepri is going to look to revive whoever might get taken out by the Zeus ult.
And there's the Awilix pick. I was actually just about to ask you, can we expect to see that again? But Wolves also potentially going back to his staple Odin.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if oBoronic takes the Raw, even if the Odin has been locked in for Astral Authority. It's one of these picks that Elevate has been running to synergize really well off of the aggression from Dr. L. And if you're looking for the long-range setup with the Batz to also avoid the Odin Awilix combo, you're looking for the Raw.
But it seems as though Elevate are just going to default back to delny's Bellona, and I'm sure that delny's probably happy to be back on his comfort pick.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he could play this god all day and never get tired of it. So it's not a surprise to see him back on it. But the Odin Awilix for Astral, along with the Zeus, so that's going to make it so, if you want to use your jump to get out of a cage, okay, I'm going to pull you right back in. But on the side of Elevate, what they got going for him is, okay, well, we have a Khepri. So as long as Khepri isn't forced to revive himself, I think that Elevate could potentially look for some outplays in the team fight.
But could you see that being a possibility for Astral Authority to just place so much emphasis onto Kenshin on that Khepri to just completely negate his ult?
Yeah, I think that's when Khepri is at his worst, when he has to use his own ult for himself, because then okay, I use Khepri all on myself, and if he ults himself, he's probably going to die anyway. Like, he's just going to revive and die, and so the team fight's probably not going to go in your favor.
A chain lightning off of a shield is going to be waiting for you off of the revive, as well as potentially a lightning storm. So Astral Authority have the tools to find the second technical kill onto Khepri.
And with a Hunter not being locked in just yet for either side, can we expect to see a little bit of jank from both? I mean, we saw Transonics on the Mercury ADC. We've seen Checo play Ao Kuang ADC. Do you imagine that could potentially be brought out again?
I don't think he'll go for the Ao Kuang just because they don't have their Morgan comp. I don't see Checo playing Hell into the Odin. I'm not sure. I think we might see him play something traditional here, maybe like a Rama. The Anhur is very good, so I wouldn't be upset to see an Anhur, even though they do have the Awilix. But they had the Awilix last game too, and so I don't think it was that big of a deal. But yeah, I would say Anhur here for Checo would be a good pick.
Well, you mentioned that having Transonics play a Hunter such as Neath was just a super unfavorable matchup against Checo's Anhur. So considering that, do you think that he'll definitely be leaning more towards the aggressive route?
Yeah, I think if Checo goes Anhur and Trans could go any number of gods, but I think what fits best with Astral's comp right now would be the Coviiii. We've seen Trans play Coviiii time and time again, and it works well with the Odin cage, Zeus ult. It's just a lot of AoE damage.
You know, you fight fire with fire, and both of these hunters are looking to play aggressive. And if it worked the last game, you're going to run it back the second time around in this game number 3 with a blank slate on her for MichaelCheco.
And now, moment of truth, whether or not Counter's Curse is going to get the better end of you, Zaxi. And I do agree that I think the Coviiii would be a very essential pick here for Astral Authority. It just plays out so well with the Odin already, plus you have the Zeus. And when you stack circles on circles, you can't really go wrong.
Circles are always better on console, man. We can't hit abilities. Let's just throw a bunch of circles out there and hope people die.
It's the turning aspect, right?
Yeah.
Always a good time. And the Sylvanus will be locked away for Astral Authority. Brochacho, I'm certain, going to be running that. And there's the Coviiii, so there you are. You're 100% correct.
I knew it, man. I knew it.
A lot of control in the jungle fights for Astral Authority. Elevate, they're going to have to maybe look for some of these fights inside the lane themselves, not trying to get caught in these tight little corridors without much maneuverability. And as a result, once they force out some of these ultimates from AA, that's when they can start transitioning into around the Portal Demon and the Gold Fury fights.
And this is a very similar composition for Astral Authority, much like what we saw them have success with in game number 1, where they just try to stack as much AoE as possible. But do you feel as though this draft from Elevate is better at handling it than their initial one?
I think so. When you have an Odin cage, but you have also a Batz ult on the side of Elevate, that can kind of dissuade, zone the Zeus away, so maybe he can't get his damage off immediately right when the cage drops. And then they've got the Scylla also, which is good. That can get out of the cage too. Can still be pulled by Awilix, but I think Elevate has some more tools this time to deal with Astral's comp, and I want to see DoctorL kind of sit in the solo lane, look to get Wolves a little bit behind on this Odin, because you don't know. I mean, if he gets ahead, it's always disastrous.
I'm sure it's never a fun time whenever Wolves is ahead on Odin, but before we head into game number 3, Zaxi, who do you have?
I'm going with Michael and the Checos, man.
Well, I actually have Astral Authority here. I like the Venn diagram of circles they got going.
MichaelCheco is Zaxi's point of view, and we've got Tully on the other side with the Astral Authority. I'm completely unbiased, so I'll just go ahead and let the casters take it into game number 3.
Always taking the easy way out. It's Taco, of course. Thanks a lot for that one.
Of course.
Always. So this one, realistically speaking, MichaelCheco has his Anhur a second time. I think that's going to be a good look. Elevate realized what won that game for them.
Yeah.
The Caprese Salad and Anhur here going to make up that long lane. Very good look for Elevate in that regard. But Astral Authority, well, back to their old tricks.
Yeah, this draft from Astral Authority is really, really scary. You heard them talk about the desk a lot, the circle control, but for me, it's about the counter play that they kind of took away from Elevate with that Awilix pick paired with the Odin. It's kind of one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't situations. And now oBoronic probably going to be forced into a purification beads, which means that he won't have the Aegis in order to survive in the cage if Wolves is able to find him after that Sentinel dash. And Wolves is Odin. Like, can we just put this to bed right now? Wolves is the Odin main of all Smite. He's like that guy with 1 million Hades worshippers. That's Wolves. If you combined all of his 58 Smurf accounts and all those Odin worshippers, he'd have 58 billion worshippers. I did the math.
I don't like Odin as a character, full stop. When I watch Wolves, he changes my mind. That's what happens. I firmly believe that what Odin does is he works for about 5 minutes and then he's a ring bot. And that ring absolutely has to be worth it. Well, here with the Awilix, that ring is certainly going to be worth it. But Wolves, by himself, seems to make this character last into the late game. Aggro, what exactly is it about Wolves that makes his Odin so different?
He farms better than every other solo. And that means that he hits his power spike earlier and you feel its effects for longer than against other solo laners. Wolves just continues to outfarm every other solo that he goes up against. And that's what allows him to look as dominant as he does.
I love this play. Elevate understand that, listen, Scylla, obviously not going to wrestle control of the lane. No big deal. We understand that Coviiii and Brochacho are going to start in mid. They've been doing this all weekend. So, Elevate go ahead, take their own buffs, the red buff. They even contest the purple buff, unable to really grab it, but it's about what they try to do. I respect it a little bit. Here's a collapse, 3-on-3 here
Checo is the one to watch here. He's the one that has the most power at this stage. He's going to take a ton of damage. He beats the knock-up and does get that chain lightning off, which could end up turning this fight in Astral's favor.
But he's dead, so there's no detonate. Beautiful play by DoctorL and Boronic. DoctorL reads it. Boronic body blocks it. Well done. Transonics can't find it. Impale's going to stun out Transonics. Excuse me. Stumbling on my words, the way these players stumbled on their opening play. Astral not going to be able to make it happen. Elevate certainly do. First blood at 1 minute.
This fight was just weird from the beginning. Not only Astral basically roll the dice in that scenario on do we secure the purple buff. If they wouldn't have, that would have been 3 for 0, and Astral would have been in a ton of trouble. Luckily for them, they do get the buff, which allows both Coviiii and MichaelCheco to hit level 2. But then Coviiii just ends up taking 3 autos directly into the very beginning of that engagement, which means that he's got a ton of penetration built into him because of that Anhur passive. Takes way too much damage there.
KhaoticPurpose is going to show up and miss the knockup because of the jump. He's level 4, by the way. DoctorL only level 2. So while Elevate got the better of Astral on the left side thanks to the extended engagement, the farm actually goes to Astral because KhaoticPurpose isn't doing anything.
That's exactly what I was about to say, and that's that KhaoticPurpose gets 4 buffs on the right-hand side. He gets the enemy speed, the enemy blue, his speed, his blue. That means both he and Wolves are going to be significantly farther ahead. Look, he's level 5. DoctorL still just now hitting level 3. Big lead right now for KP. Just a matter of where can he push this lead and start to transition it to other members of his team.
And Batz is the character that wants to lead. Transonics able to take down MichaelCheco. I believe we call that soloed. Ignore the other people around him.
Yeah, easy. Doesn't matter that Awilix used the ult or that Brochacho was there. None of that really matters.
No, absolutely not.
The big thing, though, is that, again, Checo uses the purification beads. Now, he's only level 3. This gives Transonics a lead in this jungle on that left side, and now Awilix can come over and just kill Checo again whenever he gets the opportunity.
So right there, I think we kind of just proved. I mean, look at this. Astral are ahead almost by 1,000 gold. Elevate fighting is not always the way to go.
No, that definitely not. Wolves is level 6. Delny's level 4, trying to make sure he doesn't get soloed here, but the minions are going to do it for Wolves, and he picks up the solo kill.
Part of me wants to believe that Wolves calculated that so the minions would get the last hit. And you know what? It's Wolves. Can you fight me on that one?
No, because honestly, you are using that ultimate to make sure that your minions stay alive and assist you in that damage. Look, level 6 is not, you're not doing enough damage to find the solo kill on a full health Bellona by yourself. Yes, Odin's auto attacks do a ton of damage, really underused or under-recognized part of his damage output in the early stages of the game with that attack speed chain, but you have to make sure that some of your minions are alive to continue to put pot shots into the enemy solo laner while they're trapped in that cage. Exactly what Wolves did, allows them to pick up that easy kill.
You use the lane like you use a dot. You just sort of take it into account that it's going to be tiny chip damage, and you look at where you are. Wolves paid very close attention to the amount of damage he was taking from the tower as well. Didn't want to completely stay in there and wade in that damage. Transonics and MichaelCheco having some fun here. Transonics drops the ultimate, trying to bait MichaelCheco into doing something.
I think that was just a little bit of a misclick there. It all happens, right?
I don't know about that one.
Everyone's fat-fingered an ultimate.
But this is what I like about it. Transonics drops the ultimate, and MichaelCheco, he's aware that because Transonics does something cheeky, he knows that there's going to be people here to show up and try and put him down. So he's going to play it very safe, hangs out by the tower, reads the 3-man rotation. Not just the jungle, the 3-man rotation. And MichaelCheco is stuck underneath his tier 2 tower.
And again, this is about the fact that he still doesn't have that purification beads, and so KhaoticPurpose wants to punish him and get Transonics an even bigger lead in this lane. Does allow DoctorL to secure his own speed on that right-hand side. There was a choice to be made there for the jungler for Astral Authority. He chose to try and get the kill, ends up not working out, which allows DoctorL to get a little bit closer in terms of the farm.
You really think Transonics just hit the wrong button?
Yes. Did you think that he was expecting Checo to jump in on him after the missed ricochet?
No, I thought that Transonics just used the ultimate to say, I don't even need my ult to beat you.
Wow, that's ballsy. There's a great pull out of Brochacho, though. Gets that purification beats out from DoctorL. And that's what's so scary about this composition is that they've got tons of beads burners, as well as, Zeus doesn't care about your beads. He's just going to kill you with outright damage. And KhaoticPurpose, look at how many targets he has to pull without any additional help from any knockups. You've got DoctorL, you've got Boronic, you've got MichaelCheco. all of these characters susceptible to that gravity surge without any sort of additional help from anybody on Astral Authority.
See, that was my major point on the other side. Oboronic. If you get rooted by a Scylla, you almost always have to beat that, because Crush ultimate combination in the mid to late game is just going to murder you. So you have to beat that. But Dr. L comes through with his ultimate as well.
Oh, coming around the backside. Dr. L's here. There's the Fear No Evil. Lightning Storms coming
Scylla!
down. The Gold Fury goes the way of Astral Authority.
Scylla's out of damage, not enough to control and snatch away the gold. Transonics gets stunned out, uses the beads to escape. And MichaelCheco trying to find safety into the lane, but the damage has been done. Astral Authority take down the objective. 1,500 in the lead is the blue team.
Close there, but good secure by Astral Authority. Coviiii in particular using that detonate to make sure that goes the way of Astral. That was a good, well-timed fight from Astral Authority because Oboronic still in the early game on this Scylla. Zeus obviously more impactful at this stage of the game. Plus, Oboronic didn't want to, or excuse me, Dr. L didn't want to be able to play aggressive there because of the fact that he still didn't have his purification beads. Well-timed fight from Astral Authority. They don't get any kills off of it, but they get the objective.
Yeah, the kills don't matter. It's 7 minutes in and they're up 2,500. I mean, that's, I don't need any kills for that one. I'm good enough as is. Astral Authority gonna look towards the gremlins here. Portal Demon not yet spawned. That guy shows up in 10 minutes, so not gonna be available just yet. Oboronic heads back to base and finishes up boots and starts building the helm.
Again, it's delnyy who's pretty far behind Wolves, now down 2 levels. Astral Authority has controlled this right side jungle in every game so far this series pretty heavily. This time around, though, Checo does not have a big lead on a Transonics, and even if he did, Transonics is not playing a character that can fight back in lane.
Yeah.
It's about the team fights and how those are going to go in favor of either Astral Authority or Elevate.
Muchacho fires and misses. Not going to find a pull this time around just yet. Dr. L's got to be careful about that left side jungle. There's 2 players. Now they're looking for him. Coviiii taking the 1-on-2, 1-on-3 in the mid lane as Kenshin decides to stick around. Oboronic and Dr. L go to the right, and Kenshin wants to go to the left, but sees the welcoming party that is Muchacho and KhaoticPurpose. Now heading to the right wings of the mid lane is going to be KP and Muchacho. Pull is good, grabs Dr. L, knock up stronger, but the ultimate out of the monkey is also strong. Dr. L going to be helped out by the mid lane, but the damage is off the mark. Dr. L saved by Kenshin just for the moment. Muchacho can't find it, but Coviiii can from a distance. It's the Z-Man.
Transonics in some trouble, though, on this left side. Checo tries to find the impale, but can't after the disperse. Now Checo taking a lot of minion damage, but the Desert's Fury is enough to find the solo kill on a Transonics.
What a beautiful play out of Mr. Checo. Completely outplays Transonics. Meanwhile, right side, KhaoticPurpose puts one down. It's a 3-for-1 exchange across the map. Elevate come up short, but man, MichaelCheco adding to his personal highlight reel.
That's what I was about to say. I mean, yes, Elevate ended up losing the overall engagement across the map, but again, it's MichaelCheco who keeps it going in Elevate's favor. This dude had a ton of hype coming into this split. He was a rookie, you know. You're hearing, oh, this Checo kid, he's on the up. He's playing ADC for Elevate. He's going to be really, really good. You hear that about a lot of players. Very few deliver on their promise. Checo's certainly looking like he can. This is, again, his first LAN here, and he's performing like this against one of the guys who always performs well at LAN. Transonics is a LAN monster. He always seems to get really hyped up and play even better than he does online in these sorts of scenarios. And despite that, Checo's really taking it to him.
And you know what? I've got to speak outside the lines as well. Checo's the kind of guy that's good for the league as well. I mean, you see him and you talk to him about the games. He's locked in. He's all business, but he's still down to have some fun and talk to you afterwards and really break it down. He's a pleasure to go ahead and speak to. And I mean, if he's going to bring us highlight plays like that one, like he did on the Ao Kwang, I'm down. I hope this guy is a staple of the SCL for a long time.
Well, with this kind of play, I wouldn't be surprised if he was. Love that both players have gone for the Ichabal in that duo lane. Because you know they both want to continue to fight.
KP looking for help, and he doesn't have it. MichaelCheco takes him down. He's going to fall himself unless Kenshin has something to say about it. Provides help by way of the ultimate and the root. Transonics in trouble. 2-on-1. Goes a little bit too deep trying to find MC. Not going to be the case. Transonics able to get out for now.
Ooh, close there, but perfectly timed rotation from Kenshin gets him there in time to save his hunter's life. That looked like it was going to go Transonics 1-for-1, but delnyy just stole that portal demon away from 3 members of Astral Authority.
And because of the portal, here comes help. MichaelCheco shows up from the fountain. He's getting hit by Trans in the back, doesn't even realize it. MichaelCheco goes down. That's going to even up the score for the Hunters as Transonics picks one up.
Oboronic in trouble as Wolves continues the chase onto him after the Sentinel, level 13. How do you peel that?
I'm a monster.
I'm a monster over the wall. Can't quite find the kill onto Coviiii. Neither will the crush as KP shows up to put down Oboronic.
Dr. L still alive, so no deicide for Astral. But all 4 players down is a big deal, but a very good timing spot for Elevate to die. Portal's down, it was theirs. Gold is down, that wasn't, but there's nothing for Astral to get after that fight.
I don't know, Gold Fury just actually respawned, Tom, so this is going to be Astral's on that left side. That actually is one of those moments where delny's looking back like, man, I wish I didn't steal that portal demon, because that baits Checo to come through, that allows the fight to start to happen, and Astral obviously ending up on top there, not only in terms of the kills, but the objectives as well.
Yeah, I think you could also point to Dr. L. Better map awareness and better situational awareness, I think, would have saved that Gold Fury at the very least for 1 shot. Maybe Astral kills him and then gets back on it, but Dr. L farming the blue buff while Gold Fury is spawning, he got out of that fight scot-free. I think he can impact that Gold Fury if he heads right to it, but unfortunately for him and his team, doesn't opt to do so. Astral take the objective and push their lead even higher. They're up by about 6,000.
KhaoticPurpose eats that Fear No Evil, but not a lot of damage from Checo in response. The double knockup is immune by the Desert's Fury, but Checo's got nowhere to go, pulled back in by KhaoticPurpose.
Nice try for MichaelCheco, but KhaoticPurpose puts double digits on the board for Astral Authority. Transonics still in lane here, gonna get hit by the Khepri. He doesn't really mind. As Brochacho gets hit by the Scylla, he doesn't really mind. And a little bit of help for KhaoticPurpose. Scylla might get hit by the Awilix, but not quite this time just yet.
Transonics continuing to take a 2v1 in that left side, try to get the cheeky little ricochet bounce there on Dr. L, but Kenshin has that Scarab's blessing. Transonics really just trying to get that out of the support, where KhaoticPurpose gets Oboronic out of his middle lane now. 3 deaths early on for Oboronic.
Wolves chasing Dr. L all the way to his Phoenix. This left side tier 1 tower likely to fall if the team commits to it. But it looks like Astral Authority want to commit to the kills. Wolves locks down Kenshin and Dr. L. Here's MichaelCheco right in the corner. delnyy misses Coviiii with the ultimate. That's going to be trouble for the Bellona. 3-on-1 stuck in the rainstorm. Brochacho might go down.
Wolves comes in and hits 2 with the bird bomb. Brochacho's still alive. Checo does jump in and secure it, but Brochacho lets him know that he just killed himself for a level 12 support. Wolves just seems to just be this assassin on the Odin. That just always happens when you play against Wolves. You feel like you're safe, and then all of a sudden you just get chunked for 80% of your life with the bird bomb.
That's what I mean when I say that Wolves changes his character for me. Right now, he scores of levels above the opposition. Level 15, comparatively speaking, to the 2 highest level 12s on Elevate. Odin falls off late game, that is fact. But if Odin gets to late game before the enemy, well, oh well, he's still swinging like a truck.
That's what I mean. He just gets so much farm that his late game comes earlier and lasts longer than most other Odins. And while you could say is that Wolves or is that other soul laners not understanding how to farm as well as he does, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. All that matters is that he's massive and making big plays in these team fights, whereas players like delnyy are not. delnyy suicides there by completely whiffing the Eagles rally, and even if that hits, there's nothing to do because Brochacho is doing such a good job of sacrificing himself to keep the 3 damage dealers away from his backline.
What a transformation. Uh-oh. delnyy's dead. I can just look at the minimap and say that one. Transonics over here, MichaelCheco and Dr. L. Transonics trying to find safety. Won't find it by way of the jump. There's a second jump, slowed him down. Beads and H's on cooldown already. 2v1, Impale basics. And Dr. L puts him down. There's that kill I predicted. KhaoticPurpose gets credit for it, and the tier 1 tower falls down.
But this is good right now for Elevate. They trade 1 for 1, but they're going to be able to get some big farm on that left-hand side, right side. KhaoticPurpose try to get the Blink knockup. Too quick of a reaction there from Kenshin. But Elevate really need to be pushing this wave in. Dr. L doing some nice invading, but he needs to come in here and help Checo push down that tier 2, because if Astral Authority able to secure 1,500 for themselves and Elevate cannot, then they do not end up anywhere near even this.
Yeah, Elevate's already down 10,000 at the moment. It's 15 minutes in. This one looking so much more like classic Astral Authority. Portal Demon's gonna spawn here. Astral Authority are going to take this one out pretty much no problem. DoctorL, no ultimate available, not going to be really able to do anything here to prevent Astral from picking this up.
Another 150 gold per player. Going to go the way of Astral Authority after this one. This time around, Coviii's had really good performance on the Zeus, 6, 1, and 3. No surprise that the game that Astral loses is the game that Coviii struggles a little bit in that mid lane. They rely so much on their 3v3 core to really carry them through the early game and allow Wolves and Transonics to play cleanup crew on their rotation.
I don't think Elevate should allow Astral to pick up this Zeus anymore. KhaoticPurpose here trying to deal with MichaelCheco. Speed saves MichaelCheco for the moment. Chacho pulls out delnyy. Big damage out of the mid lane. Coviiii finds another one. 7 kills without a death.
Oh, DoctorL caught backing. Nowhere for him to go this time. He's got the beads, but it's not going to matter. Transonics notches number 3 for himself. 17 in total for Astral Authority, who are just starting to dominate once more against Elevate.
So right now, Elevate are looking up at Astral Authority, 11,000 gold in the lead and 17-5 in the kills at just 16 minutes of play. This is, I was talking to some of the European players, even the college players here for AVGL. Everyone said the same thing. Astral doesn't take losses lightly. They're not going to be okay with losing to Elevate in game number 2. And sure, that might be an overused sports cliche, but at the end of the day, I know these guys, and Brochacho, Astral Authority, this is what happens when you beat them.
Again, it comes back, I think we were talking about it yesterday when it comes to Transonics. It's just one of those dudes who hates losing more than he likes winning.
Yes.
That's what it's about. You just really, really hate losing, and so you do everything in your power to avoid it. Astral Authority has enough veteran leadership there that they aren't going to get tilted after one loss. They aren't going to let that get into their own heads. Wolves, Transonics, Brochacho have all been around long enough, specifically here at LAN, in order to understand what it takes to win a 5-game series, how to really take it to the opposition throughout a long day of Smite like that. And Coviiii and KhaoticPurpose can really benefit from having those veteran leaders on their team to tell them, okay, it's fine. I remember the time that we went down 2-0 and came back and really should have won that series. Right. Things like that just give you enough confidence to make sure that you aren't worried about dropping a game in the middle of a set.
Elevate does have Kenshin, but Kenshin longevity and successful longevity are not the same thing. Kenshin has been around pretty much since moment 1, but hasn't really won anything to speak of. So he has a little bit of that been there, done that mentality, but Elevate he doesn't have the same stripes on his shoulder the way that El Brochacho does and some of the other players on Astro. So a little bit of a different dynamic there for Elevate.
I agree with you. I mean, Brochacho doesn't have a LAN win under his belt, but both Wolves and Transonics do underneath I believe it was Team Allegiance at the time. Yep. No, it was Most Wanted during the summer finals for last season. So these guys know exactly what it takes and how it feels whenever you come out on top.
Astral Authority significantly in the lead, looking for the push on the right-hand side. Fire Giant around their belts. Let's take a listen as they push into Elevate.
On Batz is there.
Good shit. Poke it, back it up. Keep poking it. That's it. We already got him out. We got him out. We got him out. Good job. Got heals? Come here, come here, come here. I got heals for you, Chance. Let's go. Let's go. Now it's good. Good Checo. He's already rooted. What is he doing, bro? Base plan. We got spray. Go on, go on, go on, go on, go on.
I'm on Phoenix, I'm on Phoenix.
Stand back, stand back. Stand Phoenix, stand Phoenix. I got down, got down, got down, got down.
Yo, goes down, goes down, goes down.
Yeah, so I guess. Heal. Gotcha. Let's go, boys. This is game. This is game. They have no hum bots holding nothing right now. I'm zoning. We're good. Go left, go left. Got another heal up in a second. 5 seconds. 5,
I'll tank.
4, 3. Look for a pluck right here, too. I'm looking for it. Missed it. I got a heal now. Good shit, boys. Timer on the Zeus ult. We can flood in with the wave.
Yo, wait, can I back here?
The calming presence from Brochacho, just leading the troops consistently, tells him exactly what's going on all the time, and then he just gets enough information from Transonics. Say, I'm still on Phoenix. I'm still on Phoenix. That's fine. Stay on Phoenix. We got this up here. Really, really clean comms coming from Astral.
Man, I love what I do, but I could listen to them all game.
Yeah.
It's really just a pleasure to listen to them, understanding just the positive reinforcement and still the acknowledgement of mistakes. We've heard El Brochacho acknowledge some mistakes in the past, but it's never in a negative atmosphere. It's just always, all right, we got this one, good job. Even when they're losing, we have a listen in, and you hear the same just steady mentality. Astral Authority is all about keeping everything even, cool and clean. And Transonics and the boys here for Astral Authority just understanding exactly what it takes to bring the win home 20,000 gold up after their Phoenix is sieged. They go ahead and back. They're able to buy, and this is going to be likely the final push of game number 3.
Exactly. What recourse does Elevate really have? You can't protect your Titan from Zeus and Coviiii all at the same time. Astral doesn't even have to worry about their opposition. They just can worry about the objective. Having Fire Giant for another minute plus still, and a lot of guaranteed damage onto the Titan.
As long as there's a group up here, KhaoticPurpose and Coviiii being a little bit dangerous, pushing up by themselves. The rest of the team looking for the Portal Demon. Probably a little bit superfluous right there.
I think they grabbed the Portal Demon there because Coviiii had Rod of Tahuti, enough gold to finish off Rod of Tahuti, wanted to push that left wave, make sure he got his big power spike item, and then could back and get back to the fight very, very quickly. Just using that map to your advantage to make sure that you have as much damage as possible for your final push.
Right side is where Astral have their eyes on. Transonics going to come up through the mid lane and ultimately group up on the right with the rest of his squad. KhaoticPurpose looking for a cheeky pull should somebody jump over the wall. Instead of the blink on the left, looking to isolate MichaelCheco, understanding he's the hard carry, but he can't carry if he's dead. Wolves with a big one. Big knockup out of the right side for the support. Coviiii gets 1. That's 1 for the money. There's 2 for the show. There's 3 to get ready. Baby, it's 2 for the solo, and we're ready to go. 23-5. Deicide, ain't nobody playing defense. The Titan's gonna fall as well, and Astral makes this a 2-1 series.
1 game away from closing out the spring split on top, both online and at LAN. Astral Authority continue to look dominant in games where they get off to a decent start. Even in games where they're even at the beginning, they seem to do okay. Just about making sure that MichaelCheco doesn't get too far ahead on that solo side, and that Coviiii can get himself some guaranteed farm in that mid.
Listen, it's all about identifying what's going wrong. Sometimes it's about picks and bans, sometimes it's about strategy, and sometimes it's about saying, hey, that guy's too damn good, just kill him. And that's what happened to MichaelCheco. He got identified as the hard carry, and they're taking care of him.
Exactly. Where did we see KhaoticPurpose go as soon as he hit level 5? The duo lane. Where did we see 4-man rotations before 10 minutes? The duo lane. Elevate seems to not have an answer to the right-hand side, no matter how much Dr. L heads over there. Remember, he got first blood in game 1 against Wolves, and Wolves still was out farming delnyy in that matchup. Astral recognizes now that they can just leave that right side alone. They don't have to worry about Wolves. They don't have to worry about KhaoticPurpose. They'll get their farm. Just make sure Checo isn't the one to beat us until Elevate can prove that someone else can.
That's really the key there, and we mentioned it before. Multiple win conditions is a hallmark of a very strong veteran team. When it comes down to it, Transonics can be the hard carry, or Coviiii can be the hard carry, or Chacho, maybe if he's on an Ares, but realistically, there's about 4 options on that team to look for to bring the game home. Right now, Elevate has shown us Dr. L and MichaelCheco, but here in the finals, all we've seen is MichaelCheco. We need a bigger performance from the rest of the cast in order for Elevate to bring this one home. Otherwise, it's over next game. Let's ask the desk how they're feeling.
And one more game really could be the ultimate determining factor for whether or not this will be the end of Elevate Spring Split. But more importantly, there's probably no worse feeling in the world than being a hunter and having a 4-man rotation come out multiple times to your duo lane.
Yeah, I mean, it was really apparent what Astral Authority was trying to do that game. They were trying to shut down MichaelCheco, and if I'm Elevate, you know, I know that Checo's kind of playing on fire today, right? He's been playing really well, so I want to shade to that side of the map, and I want to keep all my duo lane side warded for him, because if he's getting camped and he's getting killed early, it's really going to put a damper on him trying to carry the game.
Especially whenever you find solo kills against Transonics on the Coviiii. That solo kill was just actually quite a sight to see between those two. And then after that point in time, just all eyes in that duo lane against MichaelCheco. That 4-man rotation, despite not finding the kill on him, it made his life a little bit more obnoxious.
And it wasn't just the camping that was occurring in that dual lane, but in fact, Zaxi, you even pointed it out, the team with Zeus, there's a very recurring theme going on here. The wins seem to be coming in for the Zeus pick.
Yeah, every team that's had Zeus has won so far, so if Elevate opts to not, you know, take it first pick, I would want to see them ban it, because it's been doing too much work all day today.
Coviiii.
Yeah, it's
remarkable.
It's just incredible, really. The AoE control that he has on top of everything else, totally.
Yeah, despite playing the Habwa the last game, it goes back to his staple Zeus pick. This is the kind of bursty god that we're used to seeing out of him. Normally, you know, he's been known to play some of the Toffs every now and then, but this time around, stick it to a staple pick with all these bans being elsewhere, you know, between the Zeus, you know, the Calbracken, Scotty, and even Morgan. That allows Coviiii to get this huge area of effect damage mage.
And how come we see so much success with the Zeus against Khepri's? What do you think is helping with that the most, Saxy?
I'm not sure. I mean, it is, you know, when, if you kill someone saying a Zeus ult, and, you know, they get revived by Khepri, the charges will stay on. And so we've seen that a few times to where, you know, they get detonated after being revived and then, you know, they're dead again. But honestly, I don't know. I just think Zeus, you know, there are some gods that at lands, they just perform really well. And at this one, it's been Zeus for me.
It just seems that everybody is too clumped up together against the Zeus. You know, you're against the Odin, Zeus, Hu-Yi, Sylvanus from one team. You're just asking for a world of pain if you group up.
And not to mention just so much patience on the sides of oBoronic, and also, again, onto the mid laner for Astral Authority. He's been having an excellent time just displaying how much discipline he has on whatever mid lane he's placed against. I mean, Coviiii has just like no issues whatsoever with holding that detonate to ensure that even if the revive is trying to come through, he can wait till after the fact.
Yeah, and oBoronic playing the Scylla that last game didn't have the kind of same impact that Coviiii did on the Zeus. You know, last pick for the Chaos side, favoring out some counter matchup, but there was no counter matchup. You know, you go the Scylla trying to get out of the Odin cage, but then you have to always worry about that Awilix just pulling you back in.
And we saw time and time again with the Odin ring and the Zeus ultimate bearing down onto Elevate. There's just no way for them to really escape it. But Zaxi, what do you think that Elevate need to respond with other than just the Zeus ban in order to try and move more towards a victory in game number 4?
Well, like I said, they need to try and get Wolves behind early because, you know, when Wolves got the solo kill on delnyy, he was level 6, and delnyy hadn't even hit level 5, he was level 4. So getting a solo kill at level 6, that's going to put him even further ahead. And then he's just going to do what he did. He rotated team fights and hit huge bird bombs, you know, and it was devastating. So what I want to see is I want to see DoctorL shade to the solo side early on, try and get delnyy, you know, to the mid game, even or ahead, and then I want to see the rest of Elevate, the core 3v3, really focuses on warding the duo side of the map for Checo so that he's able to take these, you know, boxing engagements with Transonics without worried about getting ganked.
And this is the point where Astral Authority just really dominated against Elevate. Despite that nice little clutch steal from delnyy being able to scourge that Portal Demon away, that actually backfired because of the positioning that Transonics did, wrapping around underneath.
And that's what Transonics likes to do. He's done it against me multiple times. It's just, you're just like, how am I dying? And it's just like, Transonics is just behind you, just chopping you down. You never expect him to be there, but he always is.
And just overall excellent positioning from the entirety of Astral Authority, ensuring that anybody surrounding that Portal Demon was definitely going to be a victim to their slaughtering.
Just no potential for Elevate after that Portal Demon did get secured. Even in their favor, the fight, not so much. And as a result, off of that one little encounter, Astral Authority was able to snowball the game pretty heavily.
And